What is up, everybody? Courtney back here at you. Whew, it has been a day. It's been cold here. Can't really get nothing done outside. So I kind of wanted to do a different video for today. And there'll be noises in the background. Georgia is being extra vocal today. But, excuse me, I gotta remove this. Ooh. Alright. So this weekend at church, we watched the Soul Sisters sing at Lefford Grove Baptist Church. They were tagged in my I made a couple videos of them this week. The big C word. You're hearing it more and more and more, and you're hearing families that are dealing with it. I see it on my feed of good friends that have the C word, or they found this lump, and it really just bothers me that you are so blinded. And I don't say that word lightly. And if you take offense to it, I'm very sorry. I really, really, really am. I'm not coming from a place of ill intent. I'm coming from a place of do your homework. And just because your doctor, or just because your oncologist, or just because this doctor says this or that, chemotherapy has been linked to spreading cancer, ladies and gentlemen. They don't make money off of well people. They don't. And that's just facts. If you didn't learn anything over COVID, then I'm sorry. But no vaccine in this world is worth it for your health. And a doctor's office, 9 times out of 10, will not have your best interest at heart. They get paid by pharmaceutical companies, and they get paid by insurances, and they get paid to, vaccinate. They get paid to prescribe a certain amount. And also they get told that they can't prescribe dying cancer patients pain meds, too. And if you know me, I work in recovery. So I'm all about, some good recovery. But if somebody is dying, or they're burned, or they're having a existential crisis and need pain care management, that should not be taken from them to make somebody cruelly die and not having no pain relief. I just couldn't imagine, or having to go through cancer with no pain relief, or Tylenol only surgeries. I mean, surgery centers and hospitals. Like, no. Come on. Who wants to have a surgery and just have Tylenol afterwards? Like, what if, it depends on the surgery, but come on. What if you have, your hip and your leg and your femur and your foot, and you're in you know what I'm saying? There's a certain circumstances, like, I wouldn't want to know I was there, I dang sure don't want anybody to die in pain. But anywho, we're getting into talking about how to take care of yourself. First, you need to understand that vaccines and doctor's offices, 9 times out of 10, and your health insurance is a big ripoff. Now, I am on MAT, and I wish on everything underneath the sun that I could get off of it. I'm working toward that direction, but, it is what it is. And in the current market and the current treatment world, that's where I'm at. If you come at me for being on medicated assisted treatment, you will, I will appreciate your comment. But you also need to understand that everybody recovers differently. Everybody's path is different. Our walks are different, okay? So don't come out here spewing that jargon, okay? But anywho, so who knows what this is? You can get this at your local Tractor Supply. Now, in some states, you can actually go to your doctor and ask for ethambutol or ivermectin in the tablet forms. You have to look up what state you're in, and find a doctor. But a lot of people, this is what they were using, and ivermectin. Now, you do have to be careful with the ones that have the flavors in them, because, you know, you're not supposed to have a whole lot of it. But I do that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, this right here, cancer is a big old parasite. And your body is trying to put it in a capsulation type form to protect your other organs and vital organs against it. So when they go probing it, when they go biopsy, and they say, oh, we just want a biopsy. We just want to get down there. We want a biopsy. And they want to poke and prod it. Well, when they poke and prod that sack of worms, guess what happens? Them worms go everywhere. And then you got tumors everywhere. How many of y'all have heard of that? Somebody will go and they'll just feel like, we just want a biopsy. And then the next thing you know, they're like, well, it's spread. Well, when you open up a sack, what do you expect to happen? Like, imagine a sack of baby spiders. What happens when you open that sack of baby spiders? How many come out of that sack? So then your body's got to work extra hard to try to make another capsulation around it again. So essentially they do is wear your body out. And chemo is not good for you. And I do have a healthcare background. Anybody that knows me from my past, now, yet again, that's been 20 years ago, but you don't lose the common sense, and you don't lose the knowledge, and you don't lose what you gained while you worked in the medical field. You know, I worked as a medical responder. I worked with the local fire department. I have worked with, back in the day, Stampede Radio Medics. I've been around healthcare. I worked at CMC. I worked with children on the cancer tower. I have worked in nursing homes. I have been, around. I've helped quite a few patients. And when I worked on the cancer floor, there was a lot of things that I saw, and a lot of things that you just makes you question, life, and to know that there is an actual cure. And I didn't know that back then. I thought that, modern medicine was the most, great thing since spilt milk. I was young. And I didn't look into the other side of things because that just wasn't common back, in 2001. Well, 04 is when I started. And 04 is when I got my GED. And I think in 05 or 06, I got my CNA license. So, I progressed and I went to Rowan Cabarrus Community College. I was in their nursing program. So I thoroughly enjoyed, learning it and wanted to know how to help the body. So I took multiple classes. I took psychology, sociology, and, I learned a lot. And, I worked, with a lot of patients. And I saw a lot. And now to know and to see the studies, if you actually dig deep, if you actually want to know the truth, you can find the truth. Dr. Reese, he's a very good doctor on here. He will tell you the truth about how to heal your body. But, in other countries, fun fact, do you know that they suggest that you parasite cleanse 2 and 3 times a year? And that in other countries, their food tastes 10 times different than ours. Our country is killing us daily with our food. It's multiple other things. But ladies and gentlemen, do your research on things that can help your body. No, they're not insurance approved. But if you do your research and you actually, and know your body is made up of minerals, okay? That is very important for you to know. Your body is made up of minerals. And when you lack a mineral, it causes certain things. Or when you have too much of one thing, it creates other things, like autism. It is caused by vaccinations, and I wish I would have never Never, 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 never. I wish I would have never allowed my children to be vaccinated. If I would have knew different and knew that I could have done different, I would have. When I was in healthcare, I had a bad reaction to, I think it was a flu, no. I think it was a flu shot. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I never did well with vaccinations. Like, I always would have some type of reaction. I'm also O negative, which I'm a universal donor. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But, you know, those are just certain things. But, you know, you can go and get certain, you know, and Dr. Reese, he teaches you what labs to go pull to see what you're deficient in. You really don't need a primary care doctor. And once you get rid of all the parasites in your body, then your body starts healing. And, you know, once you start, you know, and I know it's hard here in America right now because the food supply, our food supply is tainted. And I mean, just look up videos from Costa Rica. Look up videos from other countries where people had problems with gluten and they don't have problems with gluten anymore. Like, they can eat all the pasta in the world in Rome. And these people had gluten problems. Like, why don't they have them in Rome and Italy? Why don't they have those problems there on the same food they have problems here with? Well, it's got to be the way we're making it, you know? Like, sit down and ask some of those hard questions. And yes, they're hard questions. Like, you know, some other hard questions is, you know, the facts of the Bible. And, you know, finding old books that talk, you know, and the Ethiopian Bible. Like, I thoroughly enjoy doing research about, you know, the Ethiopian Bible and the history of, you know, Jesus. And, you know, knowing that, too, we're supposed to have 13 months. Are all supposed to have 28 days. And that's why, you know, and think about it. I want y'all to think about something, okay? Think about this really, really hard. How is the dead of winter considered a new year? And now I need you to think back on, you know, how this winter here has been pretty mild per se so far. But think back to winters, like the dead of winter, like the dead of winter. Why would something be new in the dead of winter? Think about it. And then April 1st is April Fool's Day. Do you know why it's April Fool's Day? Because they're making a mockery of us, ladies and gentlemen. They're making a mockery of you. They're also making a mockery of the church. Because a lot of preachers will fight you on this. They will. A lot of preachers will fight you. They will fight you about certain, you know, books that have been taken out of the Bible. They will tell you that it doesn't matter. Well, and umpteen, don't get me to start, you know, stating facts. I have some things, but, you know, when it was good enough for them back then, why is it still not good enough to be in the Bible now? Like, who made that choice to take it out? You know what I mean? And why did it get taken out? You know? Ask the hard questions, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of times we don't like having to ask them hard questions. We don't. But when you do, you will liberate yourself. You will liberate the way that you know and how to go about healing your body. Because I want nothing more, just like the lady at church this weekend. I told her about ivermectin and a parasite cleanse and a heavy metal detox, and she looked at me like I had 3 faces. She said, yeah, but the Lord wouldn't let me walk out of there without telling her. I'm like, Lord, you're making me look stupid. He did. I felt like she gonna think I'm stupid. And I'm like, Lord, are you sure you want me to do this? I kept asking myself. He's like, no, you walk right over yonder after this church. And this is, you can ask anybody. my youngin had to send somebody, had to send my other youngin in after me. Because I made it a point to go shake this woman's hand and tell her about and how to heal your body. You know, heavy metal detoxes are a little expensive. I would love to be able to do one. I think it would help me a lot. But I am all about healing the body and listening to the body and knowing what your body needs. And I've been on this spiritual journey, and this journey with, church and trying to do what's right. And also just trying to, tell people what I have found through research. I don't have the capabilities to edit and know how to edit to put in what I have. I'm not that good editing yet, and I don't have a computer set up to be able to do that. But I do have like some pictures of the old Bibles, and this, you can do the research online if you truly want to find out about ivermectin and ethambutol and magnesium glycinate, how you can work out, and you take this before you go to bed and you wake up and know your body doesn't hurt and you sleep really well. You're not waking up stiff and sore. I mean, it just, at the end of the day, know how to heal yourself and be mindful what's on a label. I know this, like I said, I know that that's really, really hard today to do in today's society. But you can look up, videos from other countries about the things that I mentioned in this video, and I promise you, when I have said to you, I wouldn't lie to you about. So, be health aware in 2026. It's all about a new year, a new you. So become health aware. I don't have any paid partnerships with these guys. I'm not paid to do any. I'm not paid to say any of this. This is my own personal opinion. I'm just trying to do what God has laid on my heart to do. I don't know any other way to say it. Just like he told me at church Sunday. That woman spoke about cancer, and you need to go up there and tell her she can, you can fix it. And I'm like, Lord, I'm going to look so stupid. And she looked at me like, and I asked her, have you heard about it? And she said, no. And I said, have you researched? I said, please research it. I said, if anything, I said, please research it. So I'm hoping what God had me do, does what it needed to do. And that this video goes and it lands on the ears of those that need to hear. And remember that God loves you, and I do too, and that you matter, and you can do anything you set your mind to. Peace out, guys. Love y'all. Oh, too, if you have followed for 18 minutes, please like, share to the other masses, and subscribe. Hit this, or follow, subscribe, whatever you want to, whatever it is on whatever platform you're seeing this. Please follow me for more content, because there's going to be more coming out like this. Okay, love you guys. Peace out.